Welcome back to my channel. I'm Alexis Reynolds. I'm based in Atlanta. I am an escort, model, dancer, you name it, lady of all trades. So I wanted to catch you guys up on what's been going on, but I think we're gonna go back with a past thing. Couldn't wait to tell you guys this one. I wanted to tell you the story about the time I almost got trapped at sea with a client. So during the pandemic, cruises were still kind of cheap. It was like right before, it was like 2019, December 2019. So they were affordable and like they were running a lot of ads and stuff. So naturally, one of my favorite clients reached out and was like, hey, there's like a 5-night cruise to the Bahamas. We should go. And I was like, okay, this sounds great. I'd liked traveling with him before. We had wonderful trips. Nothing crazy ever happened. So I was like, perfect, let's do it. And we booked it and we're going and we get out at sea and the water is rough and it's cold. Like I have to go and buy clothes in the gift shop because I didn't pack anything remotely appropriate for this. Like I'm talking like 40, 50 degrees, high winds, raining, disgusting the whole time. All of the excursions were canceled. All of the trips, like leaving the boat, were like canceled. We did get to step foot on like one of the beaches and it was being completely torn apart and renovated because a hurricane had already knocked everything over. And, you know, obviously we can't complain because these people are trying to rebuild their whole lives. So I was just like, wow, that's crazy, the devastation out here. So, you know, we had a little bit of food and we tried to enjoy it even though the weather was just so bad. We ended up going back to the boat, freezing our asses off and being just stir crazy. He started acting up, acting really out of character. A lot of people on board were acting really, really strange by about the third night because all we could do was either watch a movie or go gamble. We don't gamble. I don't gamble. So I was just like, what are we gonna do? He doesn't drink. I was obviously still wanting to, so we kind of argued a little bit about that, and I really wanted my space. I really needed some space because we're in a tiny cabin the whole time. I was like, hey, look, you can't follow me to the bathroom or to yoga or to get my coffee or anything. That was all the time I had to myself. So he started, you know, getting really demanding about, you know, physical time and things like that, which is not like him at all. But he's just like, you know, it's normally, you know, a thing that we do every night while we're on a trip together. And I was like, yeah, well, my tummy does not feel good because I am rocking back and forth in this horrible situation. And I'm not seasick, but I feel awful. And I was just trying to make it up to him and like make things good and make sure it all worked out. And he was just feeling, you know, guilty about that toward the end of the trip. But the crazy part is we finally like get ready to pull in and we're ready to disembark. I'm ready to disembark. I've already had my things together and I'm away from him. I am way ahead. And we're in this huge line and they start turning people around. They said that we may not disembark and nobody knows why. And they're starting to tell us different things that, like, they don't know what's going on. There's some kind of an outbreak and illness on land and at sea, and several boats have reported a virus, an illness that no one knows anything about, and like doesn't know how to treat it. So they're sending the boats back out and staying stationary, like in port. No one's allowed to come back on land, and I'm freaking out. I'm losing it. I was like, oh my God, we're gonna be trapped here forever. And most of the time a client, I'm sure, would be like, what a dream. This hot girl. Yeah, it's every guy's dream. Hot girl, you know, we're trapped at sea. It's, you know, okay, we're probably gonna have time off the clock. Maybe forever. I was ready to push him overboard because he found me and he's freaking out. He's like, we can't go home. We can't go home yet. But luckily, by the miracle of the universe and to save this man's life, they told everyone, okay, we're going to proceed. Like, our boat is clear. We're good because we didn't go to a certain place. We didn't have a certain amount of reports of, like, illnesses. So we all start coming off, and I noticed people are acting really weird. And so I turned on the news, and that's when we found out that we had the coronavirus, SARS, all that going on. And that was like the beginning of the end. So, while I would still keep in touch with this client, we didn't fall out because of the cruise. There was other stuff after. Luckily, we didn't get trapped at sea for weeks. I had read reports and saw reports where people were on boats and they were still out there for like a month or two living on, room service that was only brought to their door like once a day and things like that. So I probably would have jumped ship. I probably would have died, but I was not having a good time. But yeah, that was really scary. And I would still love to go on more trips with people. I will never go on another cruise, probably. And if I do, I'd request separate cabins because that was intense. And you never know what could happen. But this was a very nice ship, very luxurious. Everything was wonderful otherwise. So if you're watching this, I don't hate you. Keep in touch. But we are not going on another cruise. That was the trip from hell. Patio furniture blew away, big, huge gusts. It felt like we were on Deadliest Catch there for a little while, and we finally got back to land, and we were all grateful to be on land. It was almost like the rug was snatched out from under us, and we were just not going anywhere. So that's my story about how I was almost lost at sea, trapped at sea with my client. And we lived, and we did not get sick. People on board my ship were luckily, despite us not being able to go anywhere and all of the like vomit and other things that we encountered during all the rocking around, we made it back. So I have a little bit of cruise trauma, but I'm trying to get over that in 2026. I think I'm going to go on another cruise with my family. So we'll see how that goes. But thank you for tuning in. Hope you liked my scary story. I love you all. Bye.